have in your NCERT textbook unit 10 the S block elements, standard error lecture number 6, 10.4 some important compounds of sodium. Earlier lecture just we finished sodium carbonate and sodium chloride. Two important compounds, we finished their preparation, properties and uses. Now we switch on towards next compound, sodium hydroxide, which is known as caustic soda, and formula is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Sodium Na, hydroxide OH, NaOH. So this is known as caustic soda. Generally prepared, just you see, generally prepared commercially by the electrolysis of sodium chloride in Castner, we can say Castner Kellner cells. Castner or say Castner Kellner cell. T silent. Castner Kellner cell. Okay, so this is one type of electrochemical cell in which we can take one electrolytic apparatus in which we have to take one anode and another act as a cathode. And this anode we act as a carbon and cathode in which mercury. Okay, anode in which we have to fill carbon and cathode we have to fill mercury. And this solution is nothing but brine solution, aqueous NaCl solution. Okay, aqueous NaCl solution is nothing but we can say that brine solution. So here brine solution in which NaCl, this aqueous solution is filled. That means NaCl we have to dissolve in water, and this is nothing but aqueous solution, concentrated aqueous solution of NaCl. Now this we have to fill, and just to be joined with a battery, negative positive terminal, and that's why we can say that electron, just NaCl is there. Due to that, on anode, this Cl minus aqueous is oxidized to, we can say that, which oxidized to dichlorine gas. That means on anode, dioxygen gas, dichlorine gas is released, not dioxygen, but dichlorine gas is released. And on cathode, we can say that this electron is transferred from this wire, this copper wire, and enter at this position. So here Na plus electron it gives. Here mercury is there. That's why Na plus electron in presence of mercury it gives NaHg liquid. This is known as sodium amalgam or Na amalgam. Amalgam means what? Hg must be present. Na amalgam, sodium amalgam. Okay. So at cathode Na plus electron it gives NaHg. That means here reduction reaction occur at cathode. At anode oxidation reaction is occur. And due to that we can say that in cathode NaHg is there. This sodium amalgam when treated with 2 moles of water molecule at a time, it is converted into twice NaOH, twice Na, twice H plus and twice OH minus. So Na converted to Na plus electron, and that's why here twice Na plus twice OH minus it gives twice NaOH plus here 2Hg, 2 moles of mercury, plus this twice H plus is there, which is once again converted to H2 gas. Okay, so this is a very important. Twice H plus is converted to H2 gas, and this is known as preparation or preparation of the sodium hydroxide. It's a very easy. If you remember, anode, cathode, and negative positive terminal is there. Cathode anodic reaction. This is, we can say that from this cathodic reaction we get twice NaHg plus twice H2 it gives twice NaOH plus twice Hg plus H2 gas. That means this sodium hydroxide obtained in this sodium hydroxide in a, we can say that crystal form, and twice Hg plus H2 gas. Okay, so this is all about, we can say that preparation of sodium hydroxide. Now in next session just we draw attention towards properties of the sodium hydroxide. So this is a very easy experimental means electrochemical cell is that here electrolysis reaction is occur. In electrolysis, remember, one is anode and another is a cathode. Remember that anode is a carbon we have to take carbon as a anode and mercury as a cathode. Okay. So remember another thing, on anode we can say that which reaction is occur? Oxidation reaction is occur. This is known as oxidation reaction. And on cathode which reaction is occur? Reduction reaction is occur. So you have to understand that this positive ion is there. At a time electron possesses negative charge. So at reactant side, suppose electron is present, then we consider it's a reduction reaction. Like just oxidation reaction, just to see. Here Cl minus is there, that means loss of electron is there. It is considered as oxidation reaction. And on cathode, sodium amalgam is there. It is reacts with, or say when we treated with 2 moles of water molecule, it gives 2 moles of sodium hydroxide, 2 moles of mercury, and dihydrogen gas is just evolved. So this is one preparation of caustic soda, which is by Kastner or say Kastner-Kellner cell. Kastner-Kellner cell. Okay. So write down this. Okay, now here sodium hydroxide properties. It is a white translucent, just like pellets is there. Translucent means it is a not passing. We cannot say it is a just like glass. Okay, so translucent solid substance melting point is 591 Kelvin. Okay, so white translucent solid substance melting point is 591 Kelvin. Its crystals are deliquescent. You know this one word. This another word is hygroscopic. Highly hygroscopic. Remember this word. It is nothing but they absorb moisture easily from atmosphere. This is a very important topic. Its crystals are deliquescent, soluble in water. When we dissolve this sodium hydroxide in water, tremendous heat is produced because of an exothermic reaction. Suppose you take beaker, in that beaker, suppose you take a water, and in this water, suppose sodium hydroxide or say caustic soda, these pellets if we add, at that time if we stir it, and then bottom side if we touch, at that time it become hot. So here we can see that here exothermic reaction is occurring. Heat is produced because of an exothermic reaction. Fourth one is in aqueous solution absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and forms Na2CO3. That means sodium hydroxide reacts with carbon dioxide. It produces sodium carbonate. Okay, atmosphere in aqueous solution absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and forms Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. So this is all about properties of sodium hydroxide. Now we see uses. Uses are very simple. First is the manufacture of soap, because you know that whatever the sodium stearate of fatty acids is there, it is reacts with sodium hydroxide. So it's very important, and that's why saponification is obtained here. The manufacture of soap, paper, artificial silk, and number of chemicals. Number of chemicals prepared by this sodium hydroxide. Second one, refining of petroleum. Refining of petroleum. In we can say that refining of petroleum you learn in your standard 10. Okay, so it's very easy. We have to purify this petrol. Third one, purification of bauxite and the mineral of aluminium. Purification of bauxite and mineral of aluminium. Fourth one, preparation of pure fat and oil. Fifth one, textile industry for cotton clothes. This is very, very important. And sixth one, as a laboratory reagent. Each and every chemical you know that it's used as a laboratory reagent. So sodium hydroxide is also used as a laboratory reagent for, we can say that, basic medium. Okay, so we can say that as a laboratory reagent. So it's very important. So write down these properties and uses from your textbook. Now we switch on towards our next important compounds of sodium, which is called sodium bicarbonate, and this is the fourth one. Okay, so just you change the order. Fourth one is sodium bicarbonate. So write down these properties and uses and prepare this question. Write a note on preparation, properties and uses of sodium hydroxide. So this is all about, we can say that, sodium hydroxide caustic soda. You remember this properties is very simple and uses also very simple, and You have to remember this one and particular uses you write down 3 or 4 uses. So it's give good marks to you. Take a screenshot of this. Now here, industrial important compounds, and which is the last, sodium hydrogen carbonate. Another name is sodium bicarbonate. Another name is baking soda, and formula is NaHCO3. Na plus HCO3 minus 1. Preparation. First, prepared by saturating aqueous sodium carbonate solution with carbon dioxide gas. It's a very easy. Just you see. Na2CO3 aqueous plus water molecule plus carbon dioxide, it gives twice NaHCO3. So understand here, H2O plus CO2, it gives H2CO3, which is called twice H plus and CO3 minus 2. And that's why here just you see CO3 minus 2 and twice Na plus is there. So CO3 minus 2, CO3 minus 2, 2 CO3 minus 2, twice H plus and twice Na plus. So it gives twice NaHCO3. So it's very easy. And it can be prepared by Solvay ammonia soda process. This is also prepared by earlier. Just we learn this. It can be prepared by Solvay ammonia soda process. Properties. So this is all about preparation. Properties. First, white crystalline solid substance. It is a white crystalline solid substance. Second, solubility in water is less than that of Na2CO3. Its solubility in water is less than that of Na2CO3. Third one, it gives alkaline solution with water. When NaCO3 dissolved in water at that time, it releases OH minus here. So here it gives alkaline solution with water. So it's a very simple example. It gives alkaline solution with water. Now uses. First use is very simple, and maybe just you are hungry because certain words is there. According to, we can say that we eat that food, edible food is there. So first is that used as a baking powder in the preparation of bread, pastry and cake. Okay, it's a very nice topic, and it's interesting also. So remember this, bread, pastry and cake. It used as a baking powder, because baking powder you know very well. So baking powder is added in the flour, atta, in the flour, and a lump is made, When it is heated in the furnace, NaCO3 gets decomposed and produces carbon dioxide. The reverse of this reaction, this twice NaCO3, when we heat, at that time it converts Na2CO3, H2O and CO2. This carbon dioxide gas is just produced. As carbon dioxide gas comes out in the form of bubbles, holes are produced. So in pastry and cake, just you see holes is also there. Holes are produced in edible substances like bread and pastry, and they become fluffy, swallow. You know this one? So this fluffy, and we do this one, they becomes fluffy. Okay. Second thing, mild antiseptic for the infection of skin diseases. It is used as an antiseptic for the infection of the skin diseases. Third one is very simple, because carbon dioxide gas is evolved, and this carbon dioxide is just fire extinguishers. So in fire extinguishers also used. So this twice NaCO3 we have to add in a fire extinguisher cylinders. When we open it, at that time this carbon dioxide is evolved, and due to that we can say that fire is just a fire. Okay. So fire just we remove, or say fire just we finished by with the help of this type of fire extinguishers, you know very well. Fourth one, an antacid for neutralizing acid in the stomach. Antacid for the neutralizing acid in the stomach. If acidity is produced at that time, you have to use this sodium bicarbonate or say sodium hydrogen carbonate. And fifth one is that as a laboratory reagent. It's mainly all chemicals, maybe all chemicals are used as a laboratory reagents, and that's why it is very important in organic spotting test, inorganic chemistry, as well as quantitative analysis as well as qualitative analysis. So this is all about preparation, properties and uses of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Now this topic is finished. So here are some important compounds of sodium. Just we finish sodium carbonate by Solvay's process. Second we finish sodium chloride, okay, and sodium chloride by we can say that seawater, solar evaporation, okay, and the third one sodium hydroxide by Kastner or say Kastner-Kellner's process, and fourth one is sodium bicarbonate, which is prepared by Solvay ammonia soda process. This is very important. You have to remember which process, what is the name of that, and from that question may be asked. So this is the important preparation, properties and uses. Take a screenshot and write it completely from your NCERT textbook. Now we switch on towards last topic, that is biological, okay, biological importance of sodium and potassium. Biological importance of sodium and potassium. Now here one important topic, biological importance of sodium and potassium, which is related with biology subjects. And just to see here, one figure is there, 70 kilogram man is there. They possesses 90 gram of sodium, 170 gram of potassium, in comparison with 5 gram of iron and 0.06 gram copper. So this is basically we can say that required according to we can say that healthy human, this 70 kilogram man. Here, Na plus ions are found primarily on the outside of the cells, being located in blood plasma and in the interstitial fluid which surrounds the cells. Cells which is surrounds, and with the help of that Na plus ions are found. Okay, these ions participate in the transmission of nerve signals in regulating the flow of water across cell membranes and in the transport of sugars and amino acids into the cell. It's a very easy sentences. Sodium and potassium, although so similar chemically, differ quantitatively in their ability to penetrate cell membranes and in their efficiency to activate enzymes. They produce certain enzymes. Thus, K plus ions are the most abundant cations within cell fluids where they activate many enzymes. So this K plus produces many enzymes. Okay, participate in the oxidation of glucose to produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and with Na are responsible for the transmission of nerve signals. Okay, this is very important. Nerve signals is there. There is a very considerable variation in the concentration of Na plus and K plus ion found on the opposite sides of the cell membrane. If this concentration is changed, at a time you are victim of any diseases. Just you learn it, it's a very easy biological topic is there. Just you cram it, don't bother about that because biology is just cramming subject. But you have to understand in a certain ways. Okay, so this is all about we can say that biological importance of sodium potassium, and just we continue this topic with one typical example. Make a screenshot of this, and here it is important that Na plus ions are found in on the outside of the cells. And next one is very important. K plus ions are the most abundant cations within cell fluids where they activate many enzymes, participate in the oxidation of glucose to produce ATP, and with sodium are responsible for transmission of nerve signals. This is very very important. Suppose you are just here and touch anything at a time, your signals is reached at your we can say that here nervous system. Okay, at a time just you say that here something is happened. So this is considered as nerve signals. So this is the transmission of nerve signals due to sodium. Okay, and this potassium ion just secretes. We can say that they release certain enzymes. Okay, they activate many enzymes. It's very important. And there is a very considerable variation in the concentration of Na plus and K plus ions found on opposite sides of cell membranes. One typical example just we see according to your NCERT textbook, and then we finish this topic. But just you write down according to your NCERT textbook. You cram it whatever you like, just you prepare it. It's a very very important because it is a note on sodium potassium pump. Sodium potassium pump, and that typical examples gives just information regarding sodium potassium pump. Okay, so write it completely. Okay, now here as a typical example in blood plasma, sodium is present to the extent of 143 millimole per liter, whereas potassium level is only 5 millimole per liter within the red blood cells RBC, which is present in our blood. Once again, sodium is present to the extent of 143 millimole per liter, whereas potassium level is only 5 millimole per liter within the red blood cells. This concentration changes to, that means this concentration is changed to 10 millimole per liter Na plus and 105 millimole per liter K plus ion. Just you understand this. This concentration changes to 10 millimole per liter Na plus ion. That means 143 to 10 millimole per liter, and here 5 millimole per liter to 105 millimole per liter K plus. So these ionic gradients, whatever change is there, demonstrate that a discriminatory mechanism. There is a change. Just you see 143, which is a decrease to 10, and 5 millimole, which is converted to 105. So there is a, we can say, a discriminatory mechanism called the sodium potassium pump. This is considered as sodium potassium pump. Operates across the cell membranes, which consumes more than 1/3. Just you see, which consumes more than 1/3 of the ATP. ATP is an adenosine triphosphate, which is a source of energy. Okay, ATP used by resting animals. And about 15 kilogram per 24 hours. Remember, 15 kilogram per 1 day, or say 15 kilogram per 24 hours in a resting human. That means if you are at rest at a time, 15 kilogram per 24 hours, or say per 1 day, it's required. And that's why this sodium potassium pump is very important. If there is occur any disturbance in this sodium potassium pump, that means sodium and potassium concentration, at that time we can say that you are victim of any diseases. So this is a very important. So biological importance of sodium and potassium here we complete, and that's why here lecture number 6 is also complete, and also the alkali metals in S block elements is also complete. So write down it according to NCERT textbook. Preparing this topic, sodium potassium pump, it's very important. And how many just required? 15 kilogram per 24 hours, and that's why there is no disturbance in sodium potassium pump, and that's why if there is a concentration is in a control, at that time you are not victim of any disease. But if there is a change in concentration, at that time you are victim of any diseases. So write it completely, and this lecture number 6 now finished, and now we switch on towards in lecture number 7, that is S block elements, and once again group number 2, alkaline earth metal with their electronic configuration, physical and chemical properties, and different types of, you learn according to that alkali metals. Okay, so write it completely. Preparing this topic is very interesting. If you learn it in a proper way, then it becomes very easy for you. So write it completely. Thank you.